Hey Bitwiggers. If you guys have been watching Polaritys channel on YouTube as of lately, I'm sure that you've seen he's made a few videos where he's been using the new pitch 12 modulator that's new in the beta 3.1 along with the multi-note effect so that you could play one key at a time and actually keep your chords diatonic to the key of your song or the scale that you're actually playing in. I'm not going to try to bog you down with too much music theory as of right now, and I'll make sure to leave links in the description if you'd like to learn more about that. So, with Polarity's method, there's actually a few happy accidents that happen along the way of this that we can actually expand on to help with our music writing to make it a lot more interesting. And what that is, that's the theory of borrowed chords in parallel modes. So, what we're going to do is we're going to use C major as our example, which I'm sure most of you are familiar with. It's all the white keys on the keyboard: C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Right? And what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at this real quick. This here is a chord chart for the modes of the major scale, right? So if we take a look at this, in our major scale, in the C major, our second chord is a D minor, not a major. Our third chord is E minor. Our fourth chord is F major. Our fifth chord is G major. Our sixth chord is A minor, and our seventh chord is B diminished. Okay, and if we use our multi-note effect, we pick that right there, and yeah, I'm sure most of you guys have seen Polarity do this already, so I'm going to try to, run through it pretty fast because he's already got a good video. I'll make sure to link that in the description as well. What we're going to do is we're going to go to our presets, and we're going to pick the major chord. And what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of these last two ones. We're only going to use 3 notes, which is our basic triad. And we're going to choose the new pitch 12 modulator. Okay. Now if we go back to our chart, this as of right now is playing all major chords: C major, D major, E major, F major, G major, A major, B major, which isn't diatonic, right? So our C major will actually stay the same, our F major will stay the same, our G major will stay the same. Our D, E, and A are all going to change to minor, and our B is going to change to diminished. And we can do that pretty quickly and easily. So our C stays major, our D we're going to change to minor, and we're going to do that by lowering the third a step or a semitone. Click there, -1. We're going to do the same with our E, -1. Our F is major, our G is major, our A is minor, so we're going to lower that third, -1. And our B is diminished, which is a minor third, so we're going to lower that by -1. And it has a flat fifth, so we're going to lower this by -1. Oh. Okay, now if we play our white keys, we should be diatonic to C major. We have C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B diminished, back to our root, C major. Okay, now the cool thing about this is that there are these happy accidents that come along the way, right? Now, if we play the C sharp or D flat key, it'd be D flat. I'm not going to get too much into it. If we play D flat right now, we're playing D flat major. And if we go back to our chord chart in C Dorian, in C Phrygian, our second chord of D Phrygian is D flat major. Okay, so if we go back to Bitwig and we start playing a chord progression in C major, that D flat major doesn't fit our diatonic scale, but we're actually borrowing a chord from C Phrygian, which actually makes sense and sounds good, right? So if we move along, right, and we play our E flat key, we're playing E flat major. And if we go back to our chart, if we look, E flat major is the third chord of C Dorian, it's the third chord of C Phrygian, and it's the third chord of C minor or C Aeolian. So we can actually jump into these parallel modes and borrow chords from them to make our music writing more interested and get away from just chords in the diatonic scale. Okay, now if we look, there is no F flat on the keyboard. There's no black key in between E and F, so we don't have to look at that. All right, and there's not one in B as well. Now, if we go back and play our A flat major, which is our A flat key, and go back to our chart, A flat major is the sixth chord of C Phrygian. It's the sixth chord of C minor, and it's the sixth chord of C Locrian. Right? So now all these black keys that we're using are actually jumping us into parallel modes. Right? So the one suggestion that I have here is to make your music a little bit more interesting, if you're going to use a technique like this, is to, if we play G flat major, we're only borrowing a chord from Locrian. And I think it'd be a lot more interesting if we made our G flat key actually G minor. And the way that we do that is we have G flat here. What we're going to do is click our modulator. We're going to raise the root by a semitone. And we're going to raise the fifth by a semitone. Now playing our G flat key actually plays us a G minor. So if we play G flat and jump to the G, we could jump between major and minor, which is very, very common for songwriting. So by using this regular technique, we don't even have to change much about what was already done, and all our black keys actually play us something that's in a parallel mode. And composers have been using this for centuries. It gets you out of only using diatonic chords, and in my opinion makes for a lot more interesting songwritings. And this is only the tip of the iceberg. You could program this to do whatever you'd like, whether you wanted to jump in parallel modes of melodic minor, harmonic minor. The list is practically endless, but this is a really quick way to spice up your songwriting by throwing in chords that are not in your key, that are outside of your key, that sound great together. So that's about it for right now. Get out there and write some interesting music, and throw some chords in there that aren't in your key. All right. If you like the video, make sure to eat your vegetables. Make sure to leave a couple links in the description to Polarity's original channel. And if you want to learn more about writing in parallel modes or borrowing chords, I would suggest Signal's Music Studio. I'm a guitar player, so I enjoy his content a lot, and it's got a lot of cool music theory that could help you along with your writing. But this one trick right here can make it very easy for you. Well, have a good one.